Had to make sure the phone didn't tip over. Happy Monday, folks. I have a lot to talk about today. So, I'm going to rapid fire all the NFL picks I made. Make one more NFL pick for tonight. And then I can get into the importance of today's video. So, with that said, I was wrong about so I was 0-1 going into today, and it looks like I'm 0-2 right now because I was wrong about the Panthers winning. So if I can skip to the 1-2. I was right about both the Commanders and the Giants. Or sorry, Commanders and the Bills. It's going to be Commanders and the Bills. And the Chargers. So 3-2. But I was wrong about the Titans. So that is now 3-3. Okay. Wrong about the... Yeah, my Cowboys are terrible. They are. Let's see. So wrong about the Falcons winning, so 3-4. Right about both the Bengals and the Ravens, so that's now 5-4. I can get to my notes right here. 5-4, okay. Wrong about the Cardinals, so 5-5. Am I really going to do 8-8 again? Right about the Eagles, wrong about the Seahawks, and right about the Lions, and right about the Vikings. So, okay. So, 6-5 because of the Eagles. 6-6 because of the Rams. And 8-6 because the Lions and the Vikings both won. So I am now 8-6 going into tonight, which I predict the Chiefs are going to win. Yep, I got the Chiefs winning that game. So, here's a refresher. 8-6 right there. That's for this week so far. Okay, now with that said, let me just put this over here real fast. Yeah, that works. Sometimes it helps being incredibly tall. Oh, I forgot to double save my work. Oh, excuse me. Okay, save as number 1. Oh. And save as number the 2nd. Now let's get to my low, my high, my active kindness. Let's see. I don't need my computer for what I'm about to, watch. There's something I'm going to need to look up in a minute. I'm going to need my computer. I would say that my low... Well, nothing too bad happened yesterday other than the Cowboys lost. So yeah, I'll just say that the Cowboys lost. That was my low. My high was pretty much all of yesterday though. I mean, I actually tried Cousin's Maine Lobster. If you don't know what they are, they were featured on Shark Tank and they have like food trucks all over the country. I finally got a chance to try that yesterday at a place called Latitude 42 Tap House. It was really, I mean, here's the thing. Cousin's Maine Lobster really is the kind of place where this is more of a special occasion spoil yourself kind of place. Because the menu be pricey as hell. I mean, a lobster roll that's about maybe, let's say about yay big, is like $21.95. Whether it's a Maine one, which is the cold one, or the Connecticut one. which is the hot butter one. I mean, I get why. The fact lobster is already a very expensive ingredient to begin with. And on top of that, you're featured on Shark Tank, so you have a bit of a pedigree. So, yeah, it's expensive, but I knew I had to get something lobster related. So I'm looking at the menu, and, okay, this is so funny. Everybody in front of me in line was getting, lobster rolls and such. I was the menu, I'm thinking, you know what, I'll do something that looks to be pretty good for the price in terms of both size and quality. And I got the lobster tots with a cup of lobster bisque the lobster bisque was already $6.50, which is about what you get at a normal restaurant anyway, at a lot of places. And I don't want to brag, but there were people who walked up to me saying they wish they ordered what I ordered. So, I think I made a pretty good call right there getting the lobster tots. And then later, after that, I went to my folks' place, hung out, watched football, had dinner with my family, watched them play with my nephews. My mom made cabbage soup, salad, garlic bread, and lasagna. Man, I was craving lasagna so bad. But I'll tell you, that cabbage soup was really good. But honestly, my mom owed me a lasagna for a little debacle that happened back in June. So, yeah, the lasagna really hit the spot. And I really couldn't think of a better way to end the set of 100 days than just being with family. Which gets into the topic of today. I've been making videos for 2,500 days in a row. That's insane. I made as many videos as The Dark Magician, Elemental Hero Neos, Stardust Dragon, Number 39 Utopia, Odd Eyes Pendulum Dragon, Seven's Road Magician, have attack points in Yu-Gi-Oh! Yes, I'm a Yu-Gi-Oh! Fan. I don't play, but I do like, I do like watching games and stuff. It's fun. It's actually kind of nice. Shout out to TGS Anime and Yasin 655, I think they are, for sort of like being entertaining in terms of like get me back into liking the game. I don't collect cards or anything. I don't really play. It's just fun to watch. It is fun to watch. So, yeah. If you don't know how this works, since day 400, I've decided to really look at the previous 100 days in general and explore all of the good that's happened. Because, pretty much when I do my low, my high, my act of kindness, in a way I am telling you how I'm feeling. But the state of my being address was always a means to further elaborate as to why I'm feeling the way I'm feeling. And for the most part, they've all ended really good. I say for the most part because it is damn near impossible to get through an entirety of 100 days and not have something bad happen. In the previous 100 days before this set of 100 days, my grandma, my grandmother only just recently passed. That actually was from day 2300, 2400. Or was it 22? Basically, a lot's happened. And I actually decided to look back on when the last 100 days started. And with everything that happened, I completely forgot this set of 100 days started with me in Colorado. After having scattered my grandmother's ashes in Lake Dillon and the top of Shrine Pass, as well as seeing the Tedeschi Trucks Band at Red Rocks. So that was something. Don't know what happened there. And it was just funny how literally that day was just being with my family out in Colorado. Sorry, that tapping just lost my train of thought. Right. So the next day, literally day 2401, was us frantically going from, actually it was frantically because of traffic and going to Denver International, was us getting to the airport and flying home, and I wouldn't get into bed until 3:30 that morning, the next morning. But it started off my vacation up at Cuba Lake for the week, where I got to be with my father's side of the family, my family from Ohio that was visiting for the week. So the beginning of this previous 100 days really couldn't have been better. And things only did pick up from there. I volunteered at a golf tournament. My neighbors up at Cuba Lake had a big party, had a lot of fun at that. Definitely a highlight of this year. Some of the people who volunteered and worked at the golf tournament celebrated their 60th birthday, so I got to celebrate that with them. That was a lot of fun. Okay. I said this before, I'm going to keep saying it. 2024 could have ended after I went to my 15-year reunion at Trinity-Pawling, and I would have told you that this was a great year. Honestly, I'm going to elaborate on this more when we get to December 31st, but the two biggest events of this year for me, hands down, were supposed to be going to Colorado and going back to Trinity-Pawling. Right now, I could just simply tell you that both places didn't just meet my expectations, but they wildly exceeded them. But again, I'll elaborate more on that when we get to December 31st, especially when, in this set of 100 days, it's Trinity-Pawling I'm thinking about more at the moment. Actually, no, it's Colorado. Right, I just said that this previous set of 100 days started with me in Colorado, so yeah, I really could talk about it now, couldn't I? I mean, listen, before this past July, my last time in Colorado was absolutely horrible, and I've shared why before. In fact, in a way, going to Colorado then is what ultimately would bring about doing the State of My Being address. So, you know what they say, you can't make an omelet without breaking a few eggs. And, I mean, Trinity-Pawling, that was the first time away from home for me. You know, it was college prep. That place literally saved my life. I owe everything. The fact I'm here right now doing this video, the fact I can say I've done over 2,500 videos, and I'm not including the likes of doing live vlogs and such. The fact I can say that I owe to Trinity-Pawling. And it was so crazy. I said that after Trinity-Pawling, 2024 could have ended, I would have said it was a great year, and I still stand by that. But I was also open to the fact that, I mean, we still have October, November, and December. And October, that's when things started getting a little bit rough. Before I continue on with that, one thing I did forget to mention, Horseheads football is doing great. We're the number 1 seed going into the playoffs as of the recording of this video, and who knows? Maybe we finally win sectionals. One moment, please. Had to knock down the door for Horace says winning. Now, I want to make one thing abundantly clear. I said earlier that it is damn near impossible to have a perfect set of 100 days because something is going to go wrong. And I wouldn't say that anything went wrong per se, but if you recall, there was a period of time, pretty much in October, when I was feeling rather melancholy. Now, take what I'm about to say with a grain of salt, but it's one thing to have outside forces, dictate how you feel, or, ruin your day. Not that I had a day that was outright ruined, per se, in these last 100 days, but I'm just saying. But it's another if you let internal forces dictate how you feel. That's, in my opinion, worse. Because when that happens, it's always so sad because that stuff, in my opinion, really ought to be avoidable. And it's not. I mean, I talked about this when I watched Ali Wong's Santa Special Single Lady. But for me, the thing that's been bothering me most is just the fact that I'm single. Yeah, I know, I didn't really want to talk about this now, but, I have to. Because if I'm not honest with myself, I'm not honest with all of you. But, yeah, it was just the fact that I didn't have a girlfriend. Or I don't have a girlfriend. And sometimes I wonder if, it's ever going to happen. And on top of that, and I mentioned this before, growing up, I would always feel depressed, not knowing what seasonal depression was until in my early 30s. But I always hated this time of year because we were no longer going up to the lake and we had to go back to school. And wouldn't you know it, the weekend that, after I get back from Trinity-Pawling, the next day, that's when we pretty much closed our cottage up at Cuca Lake. And I'm not going to lie. I mean, I didn't think it would affect me this much, but it really did make me feel rather depressed. And, melancholy. To the point where it manifested itself in, making me feel bad that I don't have a girlfriend. And on top of that, it really was affecting my mood in my daily life. And with, at times, almost nothing much happening during the month of October, at least early to mid-October, I didn't think anything would change. Which is really sad because October started off really well. I mean, I had just gotten back from Trinity-Pawling, and I watched Horseheads beat Elmira just down the street from me. That was a lot of fun. I mean, October's going great so far. What could be better? And then a week later, Horseheads beat Corning. It was during the month of October I came to the conclusion where, for everyday life, things are going to seem pretty mundane, and at times kind of boring, and that can really affect a lot of people's mood. But if I have times like For example, again, Horsehead's football games. You know, I guess I can stomach through a lot of mundane monotonous, I suppose. Because it really will make all those greater moments worthwhile. And nowhere did things start picking up for me until a couple weeks ago, when I went on both of those ghost tours, getting ready for Halloween. And then there was the Halloween party I went to. I went trick-or-treating with friends. Horseheads just defeated Union Endicott, which gave us home field advantage during the playoffs. My parents celebrated their 41st wedding anniversary. I keep forgetting to mention that and stuff like this. You know, the last week of October, actually I'll say just about 2 weeks, were about as great as anyone would hope for. And it made me learn the value. I knew these things, but sometimes you never really put these things into practice. But it made me understand the value of being patient. And really taking in just how great moments can be when you're surrounded by the people in your life who care, family and friends alike. With the holiday season coming up, well, you can make the case that October 1st is the beginning of the holiday season with Halloween. But with the big holidays coming up, Thanksgiving, Christmas, New Year's and the like, and Veterans Day. Veterans Day is coming up too. And the weather getting colder, days being shorter, nights growing longer. Now would be a really great time, an opportunity to value being with your friends and loved ones whenever you can. Family, for sure, that's going to happen. Next Sunday, I'm going to be celebrating my nephew's turning. My twin nephews are going to turn 5 years old. Can you believe that? 5 years. I had only just done maybe 600 videos at that point. And here we are now, and my nephews are turning 5. It seems like just yesterday they were born. What happened? Oh my God. But that's one thing looking forward. That's just only the beginning of these 100 days. Granted, the fact it's Monday doesn't really bode too well. Not everyone likes Mondays. But the fact that we're here now, 2,500 days I've been doing this. And I didn't even get into other important stuff too, like Eminem came out with a new CD, Cherry Conroy started his 50th Let's Play, the Egghead Island arc ended in One Piece, we're on Elbaf now. That's insane. If you were to tell me back in 2017 that you're going to make videos every day, here's the thing. It's not that I wouldn't believe you, but I'd be skeptical. Because even back then, I wanted to be more involved with social media. I wanted people to see the real me. Of course I did. But I didn't think I'd ever do this. But, January 1st, 2018, I took the plunge. And here I am now. So, I mentioned earlier how the state of my being address was always a means to further elaborate as to how I'm feeling. And these last 100 days, they did have themselves a few lows. They did. Absolutely. But again, that was me stuff. And that's stuff that, frankly, I've been working on for a long time. But it gives me more incentive to work on them even further. And if nothing else, it didn't really affect the quality of the videos I made. If anything, I just was, and eventually I did explain what was going on, so I was honest. Probably could have explained that sort of thing sooner, but better late than never. I can say for a fact that while feeling melancholy throughout October, and that was really the only bad time for me, everything else I just mentioned earlier was great. I mean, 2024 could end right now, and I could say this was a great year. But we have Thanksgiving, Christmas, New Year's, Veterans Day, if you happen to be Jewish, Hanukkah, all the other holidays like Kwanzaa and such. That's gonna be fun. There's birthdays coming up. My nephews are gonna turn 5 on the 7th, which would be Thursday, I believe. Yeah, it'd be Thursday. We gotta go out and vote tomorrow. Tomorrow's election day. Gotta do election day tomorrow. I mentioned birthdays. My mom's birthday, my sister-in-law's birthday in November, my birthday in December. There's several other people I know have birthdays throughout this month. That's exciting. Yeah. It's great. I'm pumped. Honestly, I mean, listen, these next 100 days, which should end in, I believe, February, aren't going to be without their fair share of problems. I mean, I mentioned earlier the days are getting shorter, the nights are growing longer, and the weather's getting colder. That's going to continue to happen. And eventually we're going to get stuff like snow. But if there's anything I've really learned or had a better understanding of in these last 100 days, is that if you're just a little bit patient, you're gonna wind up having some pretty great moments that make it all worthwhile. Bonus points if they're surrounded by the people in your life who love and care about you. Whether you go to Grist Iron Brewing Company for Pumpkin Fest or going to the Valley Inn for the honestly top 3 wings I've ever had, and watching the Bills game, everything in between. I'm really trying to make sure I talk about every great moment that happened in these last 100 days, so bear with me. I'm feeling great. And now that, enough time has passed where, yeah, I missed Cuca Lake, but it was necessary. I'm ready to tackle whatever comes next, good or bad. Of course, if it's bad, it's probably going to be really bad, but again, that's life. I hope y'all like this video. If you like, subscribe to the YouTube channel, follow on social media. As always, I'm very home this video for all of you guys watching Joe today. And hope you have a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful Monday. And remember, if any of you guys want to talk to me, we're here to let me know you're back. Take care and make good choices. 607 all day, baby.